In the heart of suburbia, where the American dream often feels just within reach, I, Ethan, found myself wrapped in the warmth of a seemingly perfect life with my wife, Megan. We were the quintessential couple. We laughed, we shared dreams, and our love felt like a never-ending melody. I believed that fate brings people together, that there are loyal, loving partners out there, and I had found mine. Our love story was a textbook example of romance. We met at a mutual friend's wedding, where I felt an immediate connection with her laughter, a sound so melodic it still resonates in my heart. In our shared dreams, we envisioned a future filled with happiness, a life free from the burdens of doubt and insecurity. I dreamed of building a home filled with laughter, starting a family, and growing old together, hand in hand, facing whatever life threw our way. Yet beneath this surface lay my greatest fear, the thought of Megan losing her feelings for me, for our love story to become one of heartbreak. I held on to the belief that we were different, that our love was immune to the trials that often plague relationships. Little did I know, my beliefs would soon be tested in ways I never imagined. As I look back, I can't help but wonder, was I living in a fantasy bubble, blissfully unaware of the impending reality that would shatter my beliefs and reshape my life forever? As the months passed, small cracks began to appear in our once solid relationship. At first, they were easy to overlook, a missed dinner date here, a distracted conversation there. But as time went on, I started to notice Megan becoming more distant, her laughter less frequent, her gaze occasionally drifting away when we spoke. The late-night conversations that once brought us closer grew shorter, replaced by an unsettling silence that clung to the air like fog. I brushed these thoughts aside, convincing myself that every relationship goes through rough patches, a notion I held on to tightly to ward off the gnawing anxiety. Yet as I sat across from her during dinner one evening, I could feel the shift in the air, a tension that lingered like an uninvited guest. My heart raced as I recalled our plans, traveling to Paris, building a home, starting a family. I longed to confront her, to ask what was happening, but a voice in my head whispered, "What if I'm just overreacting?" It was in these moments of uncertainty that I began to question everything: our love, my worthiness, and what it truly meant to share a life with someone. Each passing day felt like a countdown to an inevitable revelation, and the fear of the unknown wrapped around me like a vice. The fateful evening came when Megan, her voice trembling, finally broke the silence that had enveloped us for months. "Ethan, I need to talk to you about something important." My heart sank. The words hung in the air, heavy with implication, as if they carried the weight of our entire relationship. As she confessed that her feelings had changed, that she no longer felt the love that once united us, I felt as if the ground had been pulled from beneath my feet, and my whole world tilted dangerously off its axis. Her admission struck me like a lightning bolt, electrifying and terrifying, igniting a whirlwind of emotions within me. Memories flooded my mind, the moments of laughter, the inside jokes, the plans we had woven together. How could this be happening? I desperately searched her eyes for any trace of the love we once shared, but all I found was an unsettling resolve that left me feeling hollow. The walls of our home, once filled with joy, echoed with silence. I fought back tears, grappling with a tidal wave of emotions: anger, disbelief, and an overwhelming sense of betrayal. How could she throw away our dreams, our future, so easily? In that moment, I felt like a stranger in my own life, lost in a maze of heartache and confusion. As the days turned into weeks, I found myself caught in a storm of conflicting emotions, each wave crashing harder than the last. Acceptance felt like an insurmountable mountain, and I was stranded at its base, unsure of how to ascend. I grappled with the harsh reality that the woman I loved had chosen to leave me, and with it came the unshakable fear of being alone. My heart ached for the familiar embrace of Megan, yet her absence left a void that echoed with loneliness. I replayed our last conversations over and over in my mind, searching for clues, for signs I had missed. How could I have been so blind? Friends and family rallied around me, offering words of encouragement, but nothing seemed to penetrate the fog of sorrow enveloping me. The nights were the hardest. I would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, haunted by memories and the crushing weight of unfulfilled dreams. Acceptance felt like a cruel joke, one that I wasn't ready to laugh at. I could feel the darkness creeping in, wrapping around my heart like a suffocating blanket. I longed for a glimmer of hope, a sign that things would improve, but each passing day felt heavier than the last, and the thought of facing the world without her was terrifying. The breakup shattered my self-esteem, leaving me feeling exposed and vulnerable. I often found myself staring at my reflection in the mirror, scrutinizing every flaw, every imperfection that suddenly seemed magnified. Thoughts like, was I not good enough? And did I fail as a husband? Spiraled through my mind like a relentless storm, a cycle of self-doubt I couldn't escape. I had always prided myself on being a good partner, but now self-doubt consumed me like a ravenous beast. In social settings, I felt like an imposter, laughing on the outside, while my heart ached on the inside. Conversations that once filled me with joy felt heavy, like dragging a weight behind me. I avoided friends and family, convinced that they could see my pain, that they knew how broken I felt. The pain of not having enough money or status loomed large, casting shadows over my thoughts, amplifying the voices of my insecurities. I longed for a sense of purpose, a reason to believe in myself again, yet each day felt like a reminder of my failures, echoing Megan's confession. I felt like a man adrift in a sea of doubt, battling the waves of despair that threatened to drown me. In the midst of my despair, I realized I couldn't navigate this alone. I reached out to my closest friends, sharing my story in fragmented sentences and shaky breaths. Their support became my lifeline, a reminder that I wasn't entirely alone in this struggle. Yet, amid the comforting words and reassuring hugs, I encountered differing opinions. Some encouraged me to move on, to find someone new, while others urged me to fight for my marriage. The conflicting advice only added to my confusion, stirring a mix of emotions: anger at the situation, sadness for my lost love, and even resentment towards those who seemed to think they understood my pain. It was during these moments of vulnerability that I learned the importance of authentic connection. I found solace in late-night conversations over whiskey, in the laughter shared with friends who reminded me of my worth. Slowly, I began to see a glimmer of hope, a flicker of light amid the darkness. Their words resonated within me, igniting a spark of determination to rise above my circumstances. With each shared story, I felt the walls around my heart begin to crumble, allowing space for healing and growth. Determined to reclaim my life, I embarked on a journey of self-improvement, fueled by a desire to prove to myself that I was worth more than my heartbreak. I joined a local gym, seeking not just physical strength, but also a renewed sense of purpose. Each drop of sweat, became a testament to my resilience, a symbol of my commitment to healing and self-discovery. I set small, achievable goals, running a mile without stopping, lifting heavier weights, mastering a new skill, and with each achievement, I felt a surge of empowerment. I also delved into self-help books, searching for wisdom in the words of those who had walked similar paths. Through these pages, I discovered the power of self-reflection, the importance of addressing my fears head-on. I learned to confront the belief that I needed someone else to feel whole, realizing that my worth was inherent, not tied to anyone else. As I embraced solitude, I found moments of clarity and empowerment, learning to appreciate my own company. The journey wasn't linear. I stumbled, I faltered, but with each setback, I discovered new strength. I began to recognize the value of my experiences, realizing that pain could be a catalyst for growth. It was a path that led me to uncover aspects of myself I had never known, revealing layers of resilience buried beneath the heartache. With newfound determination, I focused on my career, channeling my energy into professional growth. I sought out opportunities, took on new challenges, and embraced my ambitions with fervor, fueled by the desire to create a life I could be proud of. The satisfaction of achieving financial stability became a driving force, a source of empowerment that lifted my spirits. I threw myself into work, each day a testament to my commitment to not just survive, but thrive. I sought out additional training and took courses that broadened my skill set, pushing myself to explore new areas of expertise. My colleagues noticed the shift. I was no longer the same Ethan who had once been so easily distracted by the weight of my personal struggles. Instead, I became the person who took the initiative, volunteered for challenging projects, and exceeded expectations. I relished the late nights, spent fine-tuning presentations and brainstorming innovative solutions, each accomplishment serving as a reminder that I was capable of great things. In the midst of this whirlwind of productivity, I also made a conscious effort to rebuild my financial foundation. I created a budget, cut unnecessary expenses, and focused on saving for the future. The process felt liberating, each financial decision reinforcing my sense of agency. For the first time in years, I was not just working to pay the bills, I was working towards a goal: my independence, my self-worth, and a future that felt promising rather than bleak. As my professional life flourished, I began to notice changes in my personal life as well. I was more confident when interacting with others, more willing to engage in conversations without the heavy burden of self-doubt weighing me down. My friends saw the transformation. I was becoming more open, more authentic, and their encouragement fueled my drive to succeed. I even started exploring new hobbies, joining clubs that aligned with my interests, and meeting people who inspired me to think differently. Each experience expanded my worldview, teaching me that life was rich with opportunities waiting to be seized. The journey toward success became a source of joy and fulfillment, a testament to the strength I had uncovered within myself. Just as I began to feel like I was regaining my footing, life threw me another curveball. One afternoon, while grabbing coffee at our favorite cafe, I spotted her, Megan. My heart raced as I stood frozen, emotions swirling within me. She looked as beautiful as I remembered, but there was a newfound vulnerability in her expression that caught me off guard. Our eyes met, and in that fleeting moment, the memories rushed back. The laughter, the dreams, the love that once bound us together. I was flooded with conflicting emotions, anger, confusion, and a glimmer of hope. As I watched her approach, I could see the hesitation in her step, a mixture of trepidation and longing that mirrored my own. "Ethan," she said softly, her voice trembling slightly, "can we talk?" The invitation hung in the air like a promise, and despite the turmoil within me, I nodded. We found a secluded table in the corner, away from prying eyes, and began to share our stories since the breakup. Megan spoke of her own struggles, the loneliness she had felt after our separation, and how it forced her to confront her own insecurities. She expressed her regret for leaving, and how she had spent countless nights reflecting on our relationship, realizing the depth of her feelings for me had not truly faded. Hearing her speak brought forth a flood of memories, and I found myself torn between the pain of the past and the possibility of a shared future. As we talked, the tension between us began to shift. Our conversation flowed, revealing the raw honesty we had both lacked before. I opened up about my journey, the growth I had experienced, and the lessons I had learned through the pain. I could see the realization wash over her face, a recognition of the man I had become, stronger, more self-assured, and resolute. It was in that moment that I began to understand the complexity of our love, the intricate layers that had once brought us together and now stood between us. As we sat there, I felt a sense of connection rekindling, a flicker of hope that perhaps, just perhaps, we could find our way back to one another. In the days that followed our unexpected reunion, I found myself in a whirlwind of reflection. The conversations with Megan had unearthed feelings I thought I had buried deep within my heart. I revisited the memories of our shared experiences, reliving the joy and laughter, but also the pain and betrayal that had driven us apart. As I navigated this emotional landscape, I realized that healing was not a linear journey. It was a complex tapestry, woven with threads of love, pain, regret, and hope. I began to assess the core beliefs I had held about love and relationships, questioning whether they still resonated with the man I had become. Megan's return forced me to confront my feelings more deeply. I had spent months building a new life, discovering my worth and finding strength in my independence. Could I truly welcome her back into my life without losing the progress I had made? The fear of vulnerability clawed at me, but so did the desire to reconnect with the person I once loved so deeply. I felt empathy for Megan, understanding that she had also experienced her own growth during our time apart. As I mulled over our conversations, I came to realize that love could be transformative, allowing both partners to evolve into better versions of themselves. With every memory I recalled, I felt the weight of the past lifting, replaced by a burgeoning sense of possibility. It was time to embrace the journey ahead, to explore whether the love we once had could be rekindled in a way that honored the growth we had both experienced. As the weeks unfolded, Megan and I began to explore the possibility of a new relationship together. We took our time, understanding that rebuilding trust would require patience and open communication. Our dates felt like a rediscovery of one another, filled with laughter and meaningful conversations that spanned everything from our childhoods to our dreams for the future. We found joy in the small moments, sharing coffee at sunrise, exploring new restaurants, and even tackling mundane chores together. Each interaction served as a reminder that we were not the same people we once were. We were stronger, wiser, and more equipped to handle the challenges that lay ahead. During one particularly memorable evening, as we walked through a local park, the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. I took a deep breath, feeling a sense of peace wash over me. It was then that I knew I was ready to take a leap of faith. I turned to Megan, my heart pounding, and spoke from a place of sincerity. I want to try again, to build something beautiful together, but I need to know that we're both committed to learning and growing together. Her eyes sparkled with unshed tears, and she nodded, her voice trembling as she replied, "I'm ready too, Ethan. I've learned so much, and I believe we can create a love that's even stronger than before." As we embraced, the weight of the past began to lift, and the promise of a new beginning filled the air. I felt a surge of hope, understanding that love is not just about finding the perfect partner, but about two imperfect individuals working together to create something extraordinary. Our story, once marred by heartache, was now on the verge of transformation. With each step we took into this new chapter, I felt a renewed sense of purpose, a belief that love could truly conquer all, as long as both partners were willing to embrace the journey together. In the weeks that followed, Ethan and Megan embarked on a journey of rediscovery. Their relationship blossomed anew, rooted in deeper communication and understanding. They faced challenges together, navigating the complexities of their past while nurturing their present. Through shared experiences and open dialogue, they grew closer than ever, their bond strengthened by the trials they had overcome. As I reflect on this journey, I realize that love, much like life, is an ever-evolving journey. It's about embracing the imperfections, learning from mistakes, and understanding that true happiness often comes from the most unexpected places. My story is a testament to resilience, growth, and the transformative power of love. Whether you find yourself in a similar situation or simply seek inspiration, remember that every ending is a new beginning.